Hello everyone. Welcome back to Everlasting Summer. Today we will be joined by Spider Ulyana, and today I am hoping to get the right ending with her, the Ulyana ending. Then after that, we'll try a name for the Miku ending. But yeah, let's begin, guys. We beat the game last time, we got the first two endings. We got the Semyon ending, the most easiest one to get. But now we're gonna get this kid's ending. I looked up and saw Ulyana hanging over the beam under the stage ceiling.
And what are you doing here?
I'm just... Denial is obviously futile. You saw it, didn't you? I said in frustration and turned away.
Oh, I see a wasted guitar talent in you.
I said nothing.
Hey, come on, don't frown. It was funny enough.
She giggled. Funny enough, eh? I huffed.
Yep.
Ulyana answered calmly.
Come up here, dude.
Where to?
To me.
I ain't gonna get up there. Don't even try to convince me. Not that I have a fear of heights, it's just that climbing up there is pointless, isn't it?
No, just get over here.
I felt in my bones that something was going wrong, but still slowly headed her way. When I found myself standing under Ulyana, she cried out,
Catch me!
Oh no, and jumped out thousands. Oh no, oh no, oh no, gotta catch her. Okay, good, we caught her. Ulyana landed gently, tumbled instantly, jumped to her feet. Instantly, yeah. And looked at me with offense.
Holy moly, why didn't you catch me?
But we did catch you, remember? You didn't get hurt. I answered, shifting my glance.
What if I did?
But you didn't. You didn't. What's up with you? Watched too many B movies recently?
So you don't care about me?
She grinned. Well, in this situation, certainly I do care.
I'm flattered.
Hey, don't get any ideas.
Okay, you're forgiven for the cards.
Hello, Selene. What is this? You know what this is. This is this game I've been playing all this time. Is that what you said? Yeah, you said what is this? It's still Everlasting Summer. I'm aiming for her route this time. I'm definitely gonna get it this time. How are you, Selene, by the way? How's life? How are you doing? And you are not... I had no time to finish the sentence. Ulyana jumped off the stage and vanished in the dark of the night. Yep, one more childish trick from the silly girl. Sure, I was worrying about her at the moment. You are hungry? Well, Selene, you gotta eat something then. If you're hungry, you gotta eat something. Go to the fridge and find the tastiest thing. And then eat it. As I would for anyone else in her place. After once again cursing Ulyana in my mind, I headed toward my cabin. For the first time today, I finally felt how tired I was. Olga must be sleeping already. I think we saw this already. This is the cool thing, we can skip a lot of dialogue this time. Any clear? Spent the whole day doing useless stuff, plenty of time. Yeah, we can skip all this. Olga... So, go with her. I have the guide to Ulyana's route right here. I'm just gonna, you know... I'm just gonna. Can I not fast forward? Does this mean that we've seen this dialogue already? I wonder. So what do you want to talk about? Today at the library, I wasn't listening from this point onwards. Recalled Olga's words, don't forget. Oh, what? I said don't forget to visit the library after lunch. What for? Were you even listening? Nope. I admitted honestly. Xenia's face turned red. We can't fast forward, what the heck? Today, after lunch, you in the library. Got it, dunce? Dunce? What kind of curse is that? Though a pioneer must never use a curse word, how could I forget this rule? You are now eating pickles. I don't know if you like pickles, Selene. I'm just gonna say I don't like pickles that much. But, if you like pickles, then I am sorry for my bad taste. Oh yeah, sure, I apologize. Of course, I'll be there. Actually, I wasn't really planning to go anywhere. But if you want to make someone speak, you need to sacrifice a bit first. By the way, what year is it now? I totally lost count. I decided to play fair. She looked at me perplexedly and answered, "Have you gone completely bananas?" Honestly, that's how I felt for the last few days. Xenia didn't reply. "So what year is it?" "Listen, why don't you visit the infirmary? Will they tell me what year it is there?" "Oh, certainly, and even more." Xenia stood up and headed to the exit. "Wait, you didn't finish your meal." But it looks like she won't turn back. I was finished chewing the sausage, which tasted like, "Hi." Lena emerged from behind the nurse's back. "What?" Olga asked me to help. "Sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have lied to her." Right, this is the guitar. Don't go to the guitar. Whoever that is, what's the big deal? We've got better things to do. Sports club. This is Ulyana's route for sure. Here we go. So this is all new, or this is all stuff. Stay and help Ulyana. Right? Is that what I do? Let me look. Sports club, clean with Ulyana. Yes. Nah, running away is hardly. Fast talk. Oh my gosh, dancing. Oh, beautiful dresses. Now we're at the library. Oh, things are going so fast. Woo. Oh god. Stuff is happening so fast. Oh my god. Yurik is missing, I think. Yeah. We're at the beach. Crab thing. Oh shoot, what was I supposed to do here? Hang on. Bus stop. Alright, I'm gonna go to the bus stop just to keep on track, you know? Pickles good? You like pickles? Nice. Apologies then. Hey Miku, how you doing? Sorry, next time, alright? I should be searching for Shuriken and all that stuff. You're a good guitarist. I guess boathouse. Maybe Shirk decided to pick up stones. Oh, here we go. We can still keep doing this. She got in trouble. Hang on. Just asking. There we go. See, we're doing this right. And then, food poisoning. This is how you get to the right path. Considering the local cuisine, it's not that surprising. Ask about the bundle. What is it? Oh, I can't do this. I can't fast forward. She blushed. Thank you. You're welcome. Slavia ran away. Seems like I shouldn't have asked. I looked at the time. It was getting late. And I read the magazine backwards and forwards, but the nurse wasn't here. Here we go. Don't give the... Oh, yeah. I gave her the carbon last time. I'm not gonna do it this time. Really? A stomach ache? Really? Doesn't seem so. What? Do I have to toss my lunch all over the place for you to believe me? I don't know what terrible thing... Let me get back into the chat room now. I don't know what terrible things can be done with activated carbon, but I'm sure you will think of something. She hesitated. And what if you're right? There. I knew it. Then I'm certainly not giving you anything. Alexander Mastrosov was a Soviet infantry soldier. Post awarded the title for hero, blocking a German machine gun with his chest. Oh, jeez. Alyssa tried to get the drawers, but I blocked the pillbox with my chest like Alexander Mastrov. For all her impudence, she was still just a girl, and she had no chance of pushing me aside. Whatever, I'll find it somewhere else. She turned away and headed to the exit. At the door, Alyssa stopped and looked back. By the way, the camp leader and the nurse are carrying a pioneer with a broken leg. I really don't care, but they seem to be struggling. Yeah, sure. Come see for yourself. Alyssa seemed to be lying, but on the other hand, as long as I can see her... I came to the door and looked outside. No one was there. Where exactly? They haven't reached here yet, then. She made a helpless gesture. Have fun! I returned to the table and only then realized one of the drawers was open. How did she make it so quick? I turned my back for just a second. Though what evil can come from activated carbon? We know. We know what can happen. It was 15 minutes till dinner. Shoot. Let me go back to the guide thing. Eat the apple. Doesn't really matter what I do. I will do no. No. Even assuming that this is just a normal apple, in any case I shouldn't eat unwashed fruits. Just like that, I found a reason for my fear and put the apple away. It was time to go for dinner. We can fast forward this a little bit. La 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 la. Wait a minute. Carbon. Carbon that she stole from the first aid kit. Why exactly the monument? What did this honored man ever do to you? The fighter for the rights of... I could hardly imagine how long she would have to keep on scolding Alyssa if Electronic hadn't pop out that very moment, shouting, go with Ulyana, right? Yeah, go with Ulyana. Alright, we can relax a bit now. Nope, that's my YouTube app. Twitch. Let's go, guys!
Count me in.
This is where things get scary, remember? We're in the dark, she's close, things get scary. We go right a bunch of times, remember? Right. 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 Tunnel with stuff in it. Right. Right. You don't remember? Sorry. You don't remember anything? I like about this game? It's fine, don't worry. Even if this isn't your type of thing, so then I'm happy you're here. At last, the ray of the flashlight revealed an old wooden door. Hey, there he is. Found him. And now he's fine. Look at that. Oh, God. Fast forward, fast forward. Alright, what do I do here now? Skip, 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 skip. Go. You can choose only one destination here. Clubhouse. Boop. Fast forward. Get the wire for Ulyana. Refuse? Alright, this is a little sketchy. I'm gonna... I guess no. No wire for you. Enough already. Yeah, that's what I did. It just seemed like a suspicious thing to do, you know? Who did I went with last time? Slavia, right? Yeah, we saw this part already. Oh, maybe we didn't. Whoops. Well, it's obvious. One basket for me, one for you two. No, let me go with you. Slavia smiled. Okay. I was a bit surprised, but I was also glad that it turned out like this. This is new dialogue, so we'll read it. We'll read it. Don't worry, guys. Lena seemed to take no offense at all. The reaping had commenced. The strawberries... Skip? Nope. I could probably eat them all if I didn't stop myself in time. Despite being wild-grown, the berries were close to the garden ones, in size and had a rich red color, so it was clear that our visit here wasn't in vain. Slavia was walking right beside me as we had only one basket. I felt like a mushroom picker, looking under every shrub and searching through the grass carefully. Pay attention. An entire bunch of strawberries had been left behind. Ah, yeah, I'm sorry. It's fine. You must enjoy being here, don't you? You like nature, after all. Of course I do, Slavia smiled. It reminds me of home. We have similar beautiful birches there. She gazed dreamily somewhere into the distance. Look, I've always wanted to ask, what do you like in general? You look busy 24/7, and it seems like you have no time to rest at all. She started to think. I don't know really. Doing a variety of activities is enjoyable for me. Well, that's understandable, but still, I like knitting and sewing, things like that. Slavia took a handkerchief. Handkerchief? Is that normal? Out of her pocket. There was red, yellow, and green flowers embroidered on it. They were entangled with each other in a complicated way, creating sophisticated geometric forms. Such a typical Russian handmade handkerchief. Glimpsing it, I instantly imagined Slavia dressed in an ancient sarafan, sitting on a bench beside a ramshackle house with a crowd of playing children running around. It's quite cute. Thanks. Let me give it to you like as a gift. Such a proposal embarrassed me. You shouldn't. No, take it. I looked at the handkerchief once again and put it into my pocket. Thank you. There were so many strawberries here that after a mere half an hour we had the basket filled up to the brim. It seems we're done. Yes, we've got a lot, so it should surely be enough. We did it, we won. When we got back to the boat, Lena wasn't there yet. She needed more time to fill the basket by herself. Yeah, I guess so. I looked at the river. Sun sparkles happily dancing across the water's surface were the only things that distinguished it from a mirror. That's how calm the river seemed. What are you thinking about? Nothing really. And you? Me? What will happen once vacation is over? We'll have to leave this camp and go back to our homes. Will I ever see anyone I met here again? Will I ever see you again? She looked at me with her eyes so full of sorrow that I couldn't think of what to say. Lena came out of nowhere, breaking the silence. Oh, you're done already. Here. She showed us the basket full of strawberries. Great. Now we can go back. And I still had Slavia's face and those words of hers on my mind. Sadness and sorrow weren't the kinds of emotions typical of her. Could she be hiding them all the time under a mask of cheerfulness? Excuse me. I had no answer to this question, and I knew I couldn't find one either way. Maybe later. The way back took less time than I concentrate. Oh, fast forward. Woo! Let me go back to the guide. I'm not messing this up, guys. I don't care what anyone says. I tried my best. No thanks to the girls. They were completely useless. I mean, they were super nice. Right, we gotta get things now. Gotta get flowers and stuff. So let's go. Let's get some flowers. Fast forward. There's the freaky robot. Infirmary. Fast forward. Library. Fast forward. Try to snatch book out of Alyssa's hand. Stay on guard. I think I did this last time. Nope. My curiosity won. I struck at the right moment when Alyssa was looking away from me and snatched the book. Ouch! She screamed. In the following second, her face took on such an expression that it made me question my decision. If I'm about to die, at least I will know what for. I held a copy of Gone with the Wind in my hand. That was the same book that Lena was reading that evening on the bench. I was so astonished that I completely forgot about my imminent death. Is it interesting? Yeah, Alyssa answered without any enthusiasm, blushing. Okay then. I handed the book back to her. Alyssa threw it on the table and left the library quickly without looking at me. So human things aren't alien to her. In the end, she too is a girl. After a quick review of everything that just happened, I concluded that there was actually nothing that strange. Finally, Xenia's deep groan rang out, reaching at each and every corner of the library. Fast forward! Woo! This is it, guys. This will determine if I beat it or not. So keep your fingers crossed, alright? Is everyone's fingers crossed? Everyone? I'm looking at you all. I better see those fingers crossed. Go with Ulyana. If I mention something about a witch, I've lost. If I don't mention a witch, I've won. I didn't think about Ulyana that evening at all. That thing with the cake, like it didn't even happen. Though I remembered well her resentful, disappointed face. Maybe in some other situation, I would have decided to go to her, but now a fine reason to leave this place and end the stupid hike has appeared. Recalling that Olga told me to prepare for new tasks, I decided not to ask for permission, and after choosing a proper moment, I disappeared into the woods. I've won. We are on the Ulyana route, everyone. The official Ulyana route. We did it. And you know what? I'm going to save the game, because we're not done with the choices just yet. I want a perfect score. Night fell on the camp. I mentally thanked the camp leader for not researching the land too well, since this meant civilization was only a few hundred meters away. Another long walk through the night forest was not in my plans. Soon I came to the square and hesitated. Won't it look silly? What would I tell Ulyana? Moreover, why would I go see her in the first place? My head was so heavy and full that there was no room in it for the development of any ideas. If I would compare my brain at its prime to a broad highway, full of speeding thoughts overtaking each other and causing a giant chaotic crashes, now it's nothing but forgotten tiny path in a desolate forest. I think I've seen this line before, so it's better not to think about anything and just act. But where should I go? Maybe to her cabin. And what if she's not there? All of a sudden, something knocked me down and I fell to the asphalt. It's a good thing I had time to stretch out my arms. Otherwise, I would have broken my nose.
Gotcha!
I quickly got up from the ground and saw Ulyana standing before me. What are you doing? I couldn't stop myself from shouting, despite my best efforts.
You shouldn't be stargazing,
she answered viciously. What if I had smashed my nose or had broken my arm? I said more calmly.
Well, neither of those happened.
Look, why do you always mock me? I already regret my decision to try and ease her loneliness. Wasn't today's punishment not enough for you? Can you even draw simple conclusions?
It's entirely your fault.
The smile instantly disappeared from Ulyana's face. What exactly is my fault?
Everything.
You mean I am to blame all the time?
Yes.
She crossed her hands in front of her chest and turned away. Great. I suddenly wanted to get away from this place as fast as possible. But it was because of you that... But it was because of you I came here.
What?
I guess you are quite bored, given that everybody is hiking, and you're alone here.
I don't care,
she yelled cheerfully.
Well, if things are that way, what do you want to do?
What do you mean?
Well, if you came here because of me...
Such a thought hadn't occurred to me, although I don't really know what I came here for. After such a greeting, I no longer want to do anything.
Then it's up to me to choose,
said Ulyana cheerfully, and started to think. I stared at her for some time, but then couldn't stand it. Listen, if you are again planning to...
I know. Let's scare the others. We'll dress up as ghosts, for example. It's going to be so fun.
Hey, stay hydrated, bot. Hello, what's up? I didn't find this funny in any way. Enough of that already. I began tiredly, but broke off. Maybe that's not such a bad idea. After all, by the time she thinks it's over, she gathers all she needs. Olga and the pioneers will already be back. If I came here because of Ulyana, then I need to play along. Perhaps you're right.
What?
She was looking at me with her eyes wide open.
Are you going to agree just like that?
Well, what's so wrong about that? And furthermore, if you insist... She studied me attentively for several seconds and then rattled off.
Excellent! Then we need some bedsheets. We want to look like real ghosts, don't we?
Probably.
You go get them,
Ulyana announced imperiously. Where do you think I am going to get them?
Take them from your cabin, obviously.
It wasn't that obvious to me.
So you don't want to?
She instantly made a gloomy face. Okay. I recalled the fact that there were spare sets of bed linen in Olga's wardrobe, so maybe there was nothing to worry about. Bonjour. Hello, Tai. Welcome to the stream. How are you? We approached the cabin leader's cabin, and I said to Ulyana, wait for me here.
Sir, yes, sir.
She rattled off and saluted me. You're fine? That's good. I'm here. I'm on Ulyana's route, officially now. Thanks to Selene, crossing her fingers. I asked everyone, cross your fingers, and she did, and now I'm here. Victory. Victory over the visual novel. It seemed Ulyana was entirely immersed in the game. Have been enjoying Pokemon Whack. Nice. I'll have to check it out sometime. I quickly found 2 clean white bed sheets. It's a shame they are going to get smudged. Spare time, you should really try it. And I'll have spare time when this is over. Here, take it. I handed one of the bed sheets to her.
It's too large for me.
Ulyana said after twirling it in her hands. No wonder, considering her height. Give it to me. I folded the bedsheet in half and gave it back to her.
It's much better now. Follow me.
She put the white cloth over her head and ran into the forest. Wait! I threw myself after her. Oh boy. We're gonna scare them. Just a few minutes later, we were near the pioneers' campfire, hiding behind the trees. Now it was clear that the trick, harmless at first, was taking an unpleasant twist. For some reason, I was sure from the start that the hike would end before Ulyana took any actions, and now we were standing 10 meters away from the pioneers, dressed in bedsheets. Are we dressed in bedsheets, though? We didn't look frightening at all. Rather, we looked comical.
Get ready, on my command.
Wait. Actually, I was joking when agreed to this. I was joking when agreed to all this. Think again. It won't do any good. You will get yourself put under house arrest until the end of the shift. And so will I.
No retreat, no surrender. Are you ready? On the count of 3.
I started scrolling through all the possible outcomes in my head feverishly. There weren't many of them. First up, 1. Me and Ulyana run out from behind the trees and start the pioneers laughing, resulting in me getting a considerable scolding from the camp leader, and possibly even worse. And Ulyana is sentenced to the highest measurement of punishment feasible under the laws of the pioneer camp. Second one, I stay here and observe with the others how Ulyana runs around the glade in a bedsheet. She is sentenced to the highest measure, like in the first option, and I stay in relative safety. Third one, I do everything possible to prevent her from committing this act of moral vandalism, and no one suffers but her self-esteem. It all could have gone so well, but either of those thoughts took more than 3 seconds or Ulyana shortened the count, so I hadn't managed to pull myself together in time when she sprang out of the glade, screaming inhumanly. As expected, all of the pioneers laughed loudly. They don't look like laughter. They don't look like laughter faces to me, but alright. Someone even fell from the log he was sitting on and started rolling on the ground. I tried to save the day and yelled as loud as possible so Ulyana would hear me, but not the others. Fool, stop it! Come here! Aw, she's crying. I don't know whether it was my persuasion that worked or Ulyana understood that her performance had failed, but she ran in my direction quickly and, without pausing, hid herself in the forest. I didn't hesitate to follow her. Such a finale left a tiny chance that she won't be punished again. It's good that I didn't join in on the tragicomical act. Now I need to find Ulyana. Turned out to be not that hard, as she hasn't managed to get far. Ulyana was sitting on a tree stump, crying. I stood still, hesitating. Of course such an outcome was to be expected, but now I had absolutely no idea what to do, or how to comfort her. And besides, I'd gone back to the camp intentionally, and I had to agree to participate in that show, but it just got worse. As well as that, I was tired unto death. At that moment, I wished it would all just cease to exist. What's up, Selene? Are you enjoying yourself? Having fun? Watching a poor kid cry? Like that. I just wanted to close my eyes and appear elsewhere, preferably in a quiet and peaceful place, but the sight of the sobbing Ulyana obliged me to take action. I walked up to her and sat down on the ground. Well, what were you expecting anyway? I began philosophically. It was sure to end up this way.
You're to blame for everything. You!
Ulyana shouted in tears. So what would have changed if I had sprung out with you back there? We both would had been laughed at, that's all.
You always act this way, always!
Her sobbing was becoming louder and louder, and then she suddenly rushed at me and started pounding on my chest with her fists. Hits were not hard. It was more like an attempt to take out the despair that had gripped Ulyana than a real wish to beat me up. Calm down already, I said firmly. She stopped crying for a second and hugged me.
Maybe nothing would have changed, but it would have been more comfortable for me if we went together.
I didn't know what to say, so I just patted her on the head.
Can I stay like this for a bit longer?
Yes. At that time, she didn't seem like a dangerously explosive nuclear reactor in the form of a little girl, but just like a little sister of mine who'd messed things up. I wasn't mad at her at all. On the contrary, it seemed I too was beginning to care about the failure of the ghost play acting. It's all right. We'll scare them properly next time.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know for how much longer we sat in silence. Ulyana stopped crying, and I didn't want to disturb her, as she had just calmed down, but I also had absolutely no desire to stay in the forest overnight. Hey, let's get back to the camp. I shook her shoulder gently, but there was no answer. Ulyana had fallen asleep. Hey! I shook her harder. No effect. At that moment, I wanted to cry. Why does this always happen to me? Why do I get caught up in these foolish situations, always and everywhere? Even having suddenly appeared in the weird pioneer camp in the middle of nowhere, I don't get to become a subject in an experiment, a victim of a sick cosmic mind, or a participant in an intergalactic war on the side of a group of suicide-prone pacifists, like a regular hero of science fiction. No, instead I have to spend the night in the forest with a little girl in my arms, who was muffled in a bedsheet. Except that we don't see bedsheet anywhere. But still, next time I'd rather have the monstrous experiments. I stood up and put the sleeping Ulyana on my back. Maybe there was a way to wake her up, but firstly I didn't want to, and secondly, one more burden or less at that point made no difference. It's good that she's not heavy. At the square I stopped, put Ulyana on a bench and threw myself down beside her, totally exhausted. Even a little girl is hard to carry for too long. The stars in the sky were shining brightly. Perhaps they gave their lights not only to me in this camp, but also shine on the city where I was born and where my old home is. It was as if a pain settled in my chest. My old apartment. I envisioned my old flat clearly, and a detestable burning started to make its way from my stomach to my throat. No, it was not wistfulness, more like a sad reminiscence, because despite all that's happened, I felt more alive in less than 5 days than I had for the last several years there, and now I really wasn't sure if I wanted to get back. Only one more question still ate at me: how and why I ended up here. It flared up yet again in my mind. I haven't spent much time seeking answers or even just thinking about my situation lately. My thoughts were occupied with everyday routine affairs, and now in order to break away and be able to wish to stay here for good, I need to understand the nature of this place. It's just that even a nightingale in a golden cage has a right to know how and by whose will he got in there. And after that, to make the choice whether to stay or not. I don't know how much longer I would have been devoted to existential thoughts, but Ulyana's loud snoring brought me back to reality. So small, but she snores so loudly. I sighed, put Ulyana on my back again, and headed to her cabin. I had no desire to explain everything to Alyssa, so I just put the sleeping Ulyana on the porch, knocking at the door, and left quickly. I approached Olga's cabin with mixed feelings. On the one hand, I had done what I intended to do. I had confronted and comforted Ulyana. On the other hand, the 2 crumpled bedsheets in my hands looked more like rags left over from some worn-out straitjacket. I opened the door softly and went in. Semyon! Olga was sitting at the desk, and it seemed she had been waiting for me. Do you want to explain something to me? Well, just don't scold her again. It's my fault. Just like that, I became a hero, to my own surprise. My tongue acted faster than my thoughts. Perhaps some of my best traits, which even I wasn't aware of, have shown themselves. Humanity as opposed to common sense. Really? Having started this, I chose to stick to my decision. Well, it was me who got the bedsheets, and I was standing behind a tree back then. Behind what tree? The camp leader looked at me in astonishment. So what did you need bedsheets for? I realized my mistake. So you are not talking about the forest thing? Semyon, I don't understand you. I wanted to know where you disappeared laughed out loud. Couldn't have been only my imagination. Olga, I'm serious. Didn't you see someone in a bedsheet spraying out at you recently? So it was you? She gave me a close look. No, it wasn't me. Couldn't she just tell from my height? But you're holding the bedsheets. Yes. I couldn't Yep. I was wondering. Are we still here? Are we still here? I knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen. Man. Open broadcast software. My Elgato thing. Both are just breaking. Breaking like a breaking thing. Are we back, by the way? I think we're back now. We're back. Yay! Are we back, Selene? Are we back? Tell me if we're back. I couldn't understand if she was playing me for a fool, or she really didn't know what this was all about. Olga, let's act like this conversation never happened. I'm too tired for today. Alright, go to bed. To my surprise, she readily agreed. Of course, I was astonished by such a reaction, but I decided to use the moment. I wrapped the blanket around myself and turned to face the wall. But I couldn't sleep. There was no thought. My head was aching, but I still couldn't manage to fall asleep. I rolled to the other side, and images of the day started to flash before my eyes. I shut my eyes tight to drive them away, but it didn't work. Ah! Suddenly, I heard a knocking at the window. Olga seemed to be asleep. I dressed myself and walked outside. Ulyana was standing before me with a tricky smile.
How did you manage to carry me to the cabin?
Hey, Selene, we're back. We're back. That's good. We survived. We survived, a thing. Yeah.
Wasn't it hard?
Not really. What have you come for? I couldn't sleep, but at that moment, bed seemed to be the only place where I could reside with no suffering. Which is why Ulyana's sudden visit didn't please me at all.
How was she? Did you get scolded?
No, I avoided it somehow.
That's great then. I always get lucky.
That's for sure. My eyes began closing despite my will. It seemed that slumber has finally come upon me. Look, I'm very tired.
This won't take long. Close your eyes.
It was the easiest thing to do, and I didn't even want to know what she needed it for. Maybe that way she would leave me alone sooner. I closed my eyes. Ah! And in that moment, I felt a brief kiss. My eyes opened by themselves, but Ulyana was already running away, waving her hand to me. I stood still, benumbed, and I couldn't even manage to show anything after her. I don't know for how long I stood like that, but eventually the night chill cleared my stupor. I shivered and went back to bed. This time I didn't want to sleep. I wanted to think it all through, but my eyes, which had begun to close as I was standing before Ulyana, seemed to issue a command to the rest of the body, and I fell asleep before I realized what happened. Good night! Day number 6. Oh, there she is. We're on the Ulyana route, officially. I can't say that my morning was good. Does that mean that evil-looking Semyon is not here now? Or that pioneer or whatever? Instead, I woke up absolutely broken. The room was filled with a bright sunlight. Outside the window, birds were light-heartedly chirping. I reluctantly dragged myself into a sitting position and stretched. I slowly started to recall the events of the previous day. A trip, a silly ghost game, Ulyana falling asleep, and... Smoochie. A kiss. I blushed immediately. It was so surprising that I'd been knocked out of reality for a while. The main problem is, how should I treat her now? At first glance, nothing special had happened, but... Besides, she's the last girl in the whole camp from which one would expect such actions. She seemed to me as best to be a little sister, nothing more. But for her, apparently I was more than a big brother. Though perhaps I just imagined all that, and there was no hidden meaning, deep motives or illusions, too far-reaching to conclusions. Good lord. In this kiss, just an expression of gratitude? Ulyana is definitely capable of extraordinary deeds, and could easily turn simple things into complicated ones. Finally, I decided to pull off the matter until the time I could meet her face to face. The clock showed 11, meaning Olga didn't wake me up for breakfast. However, I shouldn't worry. There wasn't much time left until lunch. I took my bag of washing accessories and went to do my water procedures. I didn't meet anybody on the way. Probably all the pioneers are busy with their own things. The place near the basins was deserted too. Just 5 minutes later, I again stood in front of the camp leader's cabin, thinking of what to do next. Nothing worthwhile having come to my head. I sat in the deck chair and possibly could have stayed there until lunch, but I was drawn from my trance by a familiar voice. Hi! I looked up and saw Slavia, who was smiling at me sweetly. Hi. You overslept again? Seems like it. This is no good, or that's no good. Perhaps. And what are you doing? Actually, I was not really interested in Slavia's agenda for today, but I wanted to keep the conversation going. Wait, I've got some things to do. I see. Silence followed. She was about to leave when suddenly I said, Mind sitting with me for a while? Sure, why not? Slavia sat nearby. Something's worrying you, isn't it? No, why do you think so? I can't read it on your face. She laughed softly. Not really. Although probably Slavia was right. Something really was worrying me. Obviously, I was worried about last night's events. Listen, do you have any little brothers or sisters? I do. And how do you get along? Pretty well. She smiled widely. And you? No, I don't. I said after a short pause. So, why are you asking? I don't know, Do you always understand them? I try to. Sometimes I just cannot make out what children want. Suddenly I stopped for a moment. Slavia doesn't know that I am actually much older than I look. To her, I am still a child myself. Those who are younger. Why? Well, I cannot always understand the motivations of their actions. They often behave illogically. Weren't you as old as them some time ago? She looked at me with surprise. Of course I was. At that moment, it seemed to me that it had been a very long time ago. And when I looked at Ulyana, that time turned into a gulf of years. Well, think of yourself at that time. I was different. At least it seemed like that to me. If so, good for you. Slavia laughed again. And you? Did you also do stupid things? It depends on what age we are talking about. Well, let's say the age of 14, for instance. Well, different things were happening, she said thoughtfully. Okay, that's nice, but it still doesn't make anything clear. Maybe that's the way it should be? Maybe. Slavia stood up, wishing me goodbye, and left. I closed my eyes and fell asleep. The sound of a bell calling the pioneers for lunch woke me up. Although the sound was quiet and was coming from far away, my body worked like a clockwork automaton, and in due time I was standing near the door of the canteen. And that's where I met Ulyana.
Hi there.
Huh? Yeah.
I already ate.
She laughed brightly and ran away. I didn't stop her. After all, I had nothing to say to her. I took a meal and was already heading to my favorite place in the corner when suddenly someone grabbed me by the hand. Sit down right here. Alyssa's voice sounded menacing, but at the same time somehow pleading. What happened? I've got something to discuss with you, she said with a slightly softer tone. Okay. I sat down next to her. So what's the subject? You were there yesterday, when she played that dumb prank with a bedsheet? It was pointless to lie to Alyssa. Yeah, I was there. That's... She laughed out loud. Why on earth did you do that? Alyssa instantly became serious and gave me a level look. Why don't you ask her? No, I'm asking you now, so you have to talk. I don't know, I rasped. Or you better tell me. Why didn't the camp leader react? Are you late, MTZG gamer? Right. Nah, you're not late. You're more or less on time. Welcome to the stream, by the way. How are you doing today? Hope you're having a lovely day. We are officially on the Ulyana route, by the way. I did it. We did it, we did it, we did it. How should she react? I think you know. I looked at her skeptically. Well, she just did not realize who it was. Well, I must admit, Olga's deductive abilities leave much to be desired. And then, it was you who brought her back last night? Nope, Shakespearean elves did that, I said mockingly. What's the problem with that? No problem at all. Alyssa stared at her plate and started to eat with concentration. Also, she ran off to somewhere during the night and came back in that happy mood. And? Don't you know anything about that? Even if I do, why do you care? She gave me an intense gaze. Well, I do care. I would have never thought that she could be concerned about someone besides herself. Nothing like that's happened, if you'd like to know. Nah, it's not about that, Alyssa replied shortly without looking at me. Probably it was a bad idea to bring up this subject. By the way, what's that like that? What do you mean? What you just said. What's that I just said? I tried to joke around to confuse her. Hey, listen to me. I'm watching you. Oh, I'm so scared, I said roughly, took my tray and left the table. I definitely wasn't afraid of Alyssa's words, even though they sounded like a threat. In fact, I was more interested by her concern for Ulyana. Of all the local inhabitants, she was surely the last one you would expect to worry about another person. I walked out of the canteen and into a real furnace. The sun blazed so ruthlessly that nobody could stay under his scorching rays. It was time to find some cool and shady place, and the beach seemed like the best place for this. Welcome to the beach. Oddly enough, the beach was not crowded. Perhaps most of the pioneers were scared of the scorching heat, or maybe they just decided to take a nap after lunch. I didn't bring my swimming trunk, so I just sat under an umbrella and began to watch the swimmers. There was no one I knew, and it was better that way, as I had an opportunity to sit quietly and think. 5.5 days have already passed since my arrival, and what has changed? There were a couple of unexplained but completely harmless events, but all in all, it was just a regular pioneer camp, and this was making me even more frightened. What's going to happen next? Another day, another week, and what is going to happen after the session's over? I've got nowhere to return to. Maybe in this time I hadn't been born yet, or even worse. After thinking all this over for a few minutes, I went back to yesterday evening. Strange, but I worried about it much more than before. On the one hand, I wanted to say something to make the situation clear, but on the other hand, I avoided any meeting with Ulyana by all means, afraid of making a fool of myself with a wrong word or gesture. I closed my eyes and dozed off for a while. Ah! When I woke up, I saw Lena by my side. How long have you been sitting there? I asked in surprise. Not too long. Strange that she did not wake me up. Did something happen? I don't know why, but my sixth sense was telling me that she's eager to say something, but doesn't dare. No, what about you? Neither. Are you sure? Of course. I smiled. Then what do you want to talk about? Why would you think I want to talk? It seemed like it. Nah, not really. A long silence ensued. Do you have any little brothers or sisters? No, what about you? I don't. So, why would you ask that? Sometimes I think that I don't understand children at all. Me too. Lena's face didn't express anything. But it's probably got to be like that. What do you mean? How should I treat them, then? Treat them the way you think is right. Well, that's the whole idea. I don't know what is right and what is wrong. The more you think about it, the more you'll regret... The more you think about it, the more you'll regret the mistake. Well, that's true, but it doesn't help. I was somewhat surprised by such profound words from Lena. Of course she did. She said all that with a trace of shyness or modesty and without inappropriate openness. But still, you mean that I should follow the first idea I get off the top of my head? I laughed. As if the saying goes, your first thought is the right one. Do you believe that? I don't know. We sat there for some time, then she stood up. Well, I've got to go. Thanks for the conversation. Don't mention it. Lena smiled faintly. I lay down and stared at the burning sun. Your first thought is right, huh? And what if my first thought was to kiss her back? No! Don't do that. By the way, what was the first thought that came to me at that time? I tried painfully hard to remember, but nothing worked. Not even scraps of thought surfaced in my brain. However, in that situation, I could only follow Lena's advice, since it all happened so suddenly. The sun was setting slowly, so I rose and went toward the canteen, as my stomach told me that even the participants in such a fantastic story should have regular meals. Somebody called me to the square. It was Electronic. He ran up to me, caught his breath, and said, "Semyon!" "Yeah, that's probably me." "Take it." He handed me some kind of key. "What's this?" "It's the key to our clubhouse." "And why would I want it?" "Olga asked me to, considering that I will not be returning there today. So give it to Shurik. He had his own business. So take it yourself." "I can't." "Why not?" "Listen, just take it." "Why would I need it? What am I going to do with it?" "You'll give it back to me later." "Listen." "Well, I have to go." Very suspicious, guys. Very. And ran. No matter how you look at it, he is definitely strange. However, I didn't pay significant attention to this event, and just put the key in my pocket. I got to the canteen even before dinner. Fortunately, it was already open, but no food was being served. I took my favorite seat in the farthest corner and concentrated on playing with a toothpick. Soon I got the feeling that someone was standing next to me. I raised my eyes and spotted Olga. We just stared at each other for a long time. "Do you need something?" Finally, I broke the silence. "You know, Semyon, sure, I understand everything, but..." "What?" I asked, surprised. "Do you think I didn't notice your absence last night?" "Absence is quite an overstatement. I'd rather say I just went out for a moment." "Well, so what?" "What's the matter?" "I thought that it was nothing too, but I was determined to check." The camp leader's expression was increasingly headed toward a frown. "So have you checked?" I still couldn't understand what she was up to. "Yeah, I checked. And you know what? For a true pioneer, it's just unacceptable. It's shameful. It's disgraceful, especially with her." "Whoa, what's this music?" She flushed red with exertion. "I don't even want to hear your pitiful excuses." A vague idea of what she was talking about dawned on me. "So what happened? Would you care to explain?" "And now you've got this nerve to play innocent. You with Ulyana?" Now it all became crystal clear. "I got two things to tell you. First," I started getting steamed up, "nothing of that sort happened there, and I'm the last one who has any relation to this situation." "And you think that..." "Second," I rudely interrupted her, "who told you that?" In fact, the answer was obvious. Ulyana would not do that, and if she had decided to once again play a trick on me, she would have done it much earlier. From the time she spent here, I'd begun to understand her well, and that leaves only one possible candidate. Why does it matter? No, it does. Would you care to explain your behavior then? Olga seemed to be a little taken aback by my vehemence. "There's nothing to explain." I quickly got up and headed to the exit of the canteen. "Semyon, wait!" I heard the camp leader's weak prattle behind me. If you act decisively with her, then she is not that confident. So now I have to get things straight with blah. Well, her pranks hadn't concerned me, or only concerned me indirectly. I could bear it. Just thinking about it, I'd even started to consider her not such a bad person. I met Slavia at the square. "Do you know where Alyssa is?" "Yes, I do. What's the matter?" "Just tell me." My words sounded obviously rough, but it seemed like she didn't pay any attention. "She's at the music club." Slavia was right, and I met Alyssa near the music club. However, she was accompanied by Miku. "Mind explaining yourself?" I didn't waste any time on pleasantries. "No, what makes you think so?" Alyssa gave me a cute smile. "Oh, Semyon, hi! How nice that you're here too. Maybe the three of us can play something? I had a new song, and, you know, it is so funny. I'm sure you'll like it, I promise." "Or we can choose something old." Miku interrupted the conversation. "Could you..." "What?" She looked at me with the smile of an uncomprehending child. From that moment, I understood what exactly she had in her mind. Little rabbits, teddy bears, pussycats, but no sign of intelligence. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Whew. A lot of dialogue. Good thing I have water here. Otherwise, I would be dying. Slowly dying. I need to talk to Alyssa. I said it in a tone that brooked no disagreement. Okay, maybe later. It looked like she was upset, though I didn't care. Breathtaking? Yes. It literally is breathtaking. It's stealing my breath away. So, I don't understand what you mean, Alyssa said, offended. And anyway, I have to go. She turned around and got ready to leave. Grab her arm roughly. I think it's verbally. I'm like 99% sure it's verbally, but let me check just in case. Stop Alyssa verbally, yes. I'm not messing this up, guys. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not messing this up. Go. Hey, not so fast. She stopped and turned to me. I'm not here to kill you. That word sounded like a joke, but Alyssa flinched. Who told the camp leader that Ulyana came to me that night? I don't know. Hang on. Give me 2 seconds. 1, 2. There we go. Did you mess up yet? No, Salah, no way. I'm not gonna mess up. I'm gonna do this perfectly. Just you watch. Just you watch. I don't know. She pleaded paylessly? Paylessly. Sure. We discussed it this morning, didn't we? Her eyes, yeah, her eyes. She's like, I think I'm gonna be in trouble. She said nothing, but continued to look at me with fear in her eyes. And most importantly, what's the purpose of telling 1,000 lies? I really don't understand what you're talking about. Aw, she's crying. Her eyes filled with tears. Suddenly, I felt as if I'd been struck by lightning. What if she isn't guilty? And why did I immediately think of her? Anyone else could have seen us at night. You never know, even Ulyana herself could tell anyone. Are you sure? I asked harshly. Yes! I thought for a second, and this time was just enough for Alyssa to escape. Now the only true solution is to talk to Olga again. I found her on the canteen porch. By that time, the sun had nearly disappeared behind the horizon. You came back after all, she began. Olga, could you tell me honestly who told you about it? I just spoken to It's not her. Ulyana wouldn't do it herself, so who? In fact, I myself didn't realize why I needed to know this. Initially, I was just mad at Alyssa, but now... Well, she hesitated. Some strange girl. But this still doesn't... A strange girl? Well, yes, not from our camp, it seemed. Why did she tell you about this? How should I know? Olga, but this is... I took a deep breath and turned away. Let me save it really quick. Can I save? Can I save, guys? I would like your guys' permission, if I can save the game or not. Although, maybe she is trying to protect somebody. Let's say... Damn, I cannot even imagine. Alright. I said quietly and walked briskly away from the canteen. I had absolutely no desire to continue listening to Olga's stupid lies. Our so-called camp leader. I walked aimlessly, completely lost in thought.
Are you on guard duty?
I heard a cheerful voice from behind. It was Ulyana. Nothing special, just seems like there was no chance of finding out who Olga's informer was, and yesterday's incident was hushed up somehow, so I decided not to think about it.
What do you have planned for this evening?
Dvachevskaya. Maybe reading like this will be easier. Maybe. Dvachevskaya. Did I say that right, or is that still, like, horribly pronounced wrong? Nothing, I guess. After all my frantic attempts to uncover the truth, I felt some inexplicable guilt before Alyssa and Ulyana. What exactly the guilt before Ulyana was about, completely unclear though. Right I am? I did it. I did it, guys. I did the right thing. I'll still probably, like, not read. I'll just read Olga though. Unless that's the other name.
Then I have a suggestion.
What is it?
I brought a video cassette from home.
Her eyes flashed conspiracially. And I couldn't even remember when the last time I had watched or heard something recorded on cassette was.
With a cool movie on it.
Where would we get a VCR here? This word came to me from the past, and I decided to test whether my guesses about which time period I had been placed in were right.
At the Cybernetics Club, of course.
There's nothing there, I said confidently.
What about in the back room?
She was right. It could be there. Well, maybe. But anyway, it's too late and everything is closed. That strange feeling of guilt I felt in front of Ulyana wasn't giving me a chance to refuse immediately.
We can get in there through the window! Through the window! Through the wall!
Sorry. Well, you know.
Maybe you're right. Wish we could get a key.
Mused Ulyana. But I had one. In my pocket. And I just remembered about it. Now that you mention it, yes, I've got a key. Next time I'd better think before I speak.
That's good. Then I'll quickly run to get the tape. You wait here and I'll be right back.
She disappeared before I could even open my mouth. It's strange that she wasn't surprised that the key into the Cybernetics Club mysteriously happened to be in my pocket at the right place and time. But in any case, I have to decide what to do next. The most right and logical thing would be to not go anywhere with her. But my guilt got to me. Though it seemed to me that there could be nothing criminal in watching a movie with her. But on the other hand, with Ulyana, even the most harmless things can turn into a three-ring circus. At the very least, I was already starting to forget about what had happened this evening, about my frantic attempts to get the truth from Melissa and Olga. In just a couple of minutes, she returned.
Having second thoughts?
I looked at Ulyana and I felt a bit uncomfortable.
Are we going?
Listen, you know, your ideas are, let's say, not entirely safe. And in the end, everything will end badly again.
Are you scared?
No, I'm not. I'm just a grown man, and I'm not interested in such games.
Grown man?
She laughed. Indeed, I forgot that I looked 17 at most.
What makes you think so?
It's really hard to accept, but I had nothing to say to that. Thinking about it... Oh, gotta stretch. The whole time I spent here, I did not display any particular forethought, nor life experience, nor cold, balanced assessment of the situation. Though the other question is, did I ever show those in that life? And in fact, even if I'd think, I would recall some examples, of course. But... okay, let's go. I was so offended by Ulyana's words that I asked, and what is a grown man in your opinion?
One who is responsible for his actions. One who does not do anything without thinking about the consequences. A person who is capable of taking good care, not only of himself, but also of others.
And all that doesn't describe you, that's for sure. Dmitri, name of her father, Dmitrievna. This guy? This girl's father's name is Dmitri. These words are tough, man. Russian is tough to learn. I barely know English, and now I'm learning a new language now. I tried to laugh it off. Olga Dmitri. Am I saying that right at least? Dmitri?
I'm not pretending to be like that anyway,
grinned Ulyana. Yes, she was obviously right. Absolutely right. I do not possess any of those qualities, but I always thought that not being 17 is all that's required. Dmitrievna. It seems that in general there is no difference between me and other people, and if I wish I could be exactly like they are, is that all wrong? In fact, no, because in this camp I tried to behave in a most logical, sensible, and proper way, like an adult. But even if Ulyana says differently, then how can I get out of here? I can't. We went and took some time for Ulyana to find the light switch.
Presto!
Well done, bravo. I exertedly clapped my hands.
Hey, stop making fun of me!
She pouted. Okay, what's next?
Here!
Ulyana went up to the door to the second room, hesitated for a moment, and pushed it open. There wasn't much space inside. Seems more like this room was used for storage. Boxes piled on top of each other had formed some sort of Alps in miniature. Various devices scattered here and there reminded me of the chaotic brainstorm raging in the head of a scientist. Bookshelves on the far wall made it clear that this was not a simple storage for unused junk. To my right, there was a TV set with a video player sitting next to it. Interestingly, they were not Soviet. I'd bet they were Japanese, at least going by their appearance. Not very surprising in those days, or more accurately, though for me, these days, imports already existed.
What did I tell you?
Ulyana smiled triumphantly. Yeah.
Have you seen anything like that before?
I have. Perhaps I've got a VCR too. Probably it's lying somewhere on the mezzanine in my house.
Seems like you're not surprised at all.
Why should I be surprised? A Japanese
TV set? A video player? You look like you often see such things.
Not too often lately, I agreed lazily.
You are so gloomy. Nevertheless, okay, take it.
She handed me a cassette. I turned it over in my hands, but did not find any sticker or labels on it. So what's on it?
I don't know exactly,
mused Ulyana.
But I'm sure it's something very interesting.
Soon the logo of a well-known American film appeared on the screen.
Here, watch.
Ulyana even started fidgeting impatiently. I'm watching. Whoa. Jeez. A few minutes later, I realized that the tape contained a famous film from the 80s. It was about a robot from the future sent to kill someone in the past. So, in the years in between, a hero wouldn't be born. Interesting coincidence. You could say that I was sent from the future, too. So what? The mission is to kill someone from among the local residents? I could not help laughing.
What's so funny?
Ulyana looked at me reproachfully. Oh, no, nothing.
Seems as if you don't like the movie.
The movie's alright. I've seen it several times.
How can that be?
Her eyes widened in surprise. Well, my friend gave me a cassette. Ulyana stared intently at me. Anyway, keep watching. I pointed at the screen. When the film was about halfway through, I heard someone trying to open the front door. It said that when a person has one of their senses weakened, the others are amplified. I was quite blind, but I could hear perfectly. Lights off, I whispered.
What?
Turn off the lights. Ulyana realized that this wasn't the time to argue with me and rushed to the switch. Meanwhile, I pressed the pause button. I heard footsteps in the other room and saw a flashlight flickering under the door. I wonder who decided to sneak into the cybernetics club at night. They're not here. It was the voice of Olga. Soon the front door slammed shut, and I sighed with relief. See that? Again, that's because of you.
What?
Ulyana stared at me in surprise. Why else would she come here at night? She's definitely searching for us. Alyssa likely doesn't care about your absence, but I'm registered at the club leader's cabin. She thought for a while.
Well, so what?
So what? Why are you constantly looking for trouble? It's almost as if you like it.
It's more fun this way.
Is it fun when you are constantly scolded and punished?
Nothing ventured, nothing gained.
She laughed merrily. Eventually, there are also rules. Well, up until now, you have evaded serious consequences. But who knows what could happen next? It could all end badly. Selene, Piranha Plant posted Selene, Piranha Plant emote. Don't know what it means. Don't know what any of these emotes mean. There's a hidden meaning behind everything. You just send emotes because you don't really know what to say about this game. How about just send your, the first thing that pops in your mind? At this point in time right now, Selene, what's the first word that comes into your mind about this game?
You grumble like a granny,
she said, offended. And who said recently that I could not be called an adult?
Forget it. Let's finish the movie.
I decided not to argue with her. Her hair is whack. There you go. But that's mostly all animus, though. And her hair is not all that whack. Have you seen Yu-Gi-Oh? Their hair's crazy. It's insane. In the end, we are already on Olga's list. And an hour later, an hour earlier, does it really matter? At each scary scene, Ulyana jumped, screamed, and grabbed me by the hand. I was not so keen on the film, but I still pretended that I was also interested. Apart from the evil robot, there was a good man sent from the future to prevent his evil deeds. Maybe I'm not here with the goal of becoming a ruthless killing machine, but on the contrary, to change or prevent something. To prevent some event, for example, or to stop someone from some wrongdoing. The analogy is fairly interesting, but it's not based on any real facts. I don't have a shotgun in my hands, I'm not wearing a leather jacket, and I haven't got motorcycles. I haven't got motorcycle to ride. I don't even have sunglasses.
Look, look!
The next chase with shooting and the destruction of various types of wheeled and propellered vehicles was unfolding on the screen. You think the good guy will win? Of course I know the answer.
Obviously. Good always triumphs,
she said seriously. If we consider that Ulyana often succeeded in her silly ventures, the meaning of the word good gets seriously twisted.
Wait, but you already watched it.
Yeah, I just wanted to know your opinion. Soon the film came to an end. During the final scene, Ulyana ran around the room, trying to get a better view of everything happening on the screen, without missing anything.
Huh?
She gasped with relief when the ending credits started. Liked it?
You need to ask, of course.
That's good.
And I can see you really didn't.
She squinted slyly. Well, it's a film for kids after all.
Really?
Well, yeah, so what?
Nothing.
She yawned and sat on the floor with her back against a pile of boxes. It's probably time to go to sleep.
I'm tired and I won't go anywhere.
As you wish. I'd better go then.
Hey, wait.
Ulyana immediately jumped up and grabbed me by the hand.
Will you leave me here all alone?
Well, if you want, should I carry you to your cabin? I said uncertainly. In the end, I was already experienced at that.
No, I want to sleep here.
She rummaged in the box next to her and pulled out some sort of blankets and pillows. Again, the same story. I sighed. Just think, Olga is already looking for us, and if we spend all night here...
Well, firstly, she is looking for you. That has nothing to do with me,
laughed Ulyana. Even if that's so, then you'll be caught too.
What makes you say that? And even if I do get caught, that's okay. I'm used to it.
Why are you so stubborn? It's only a couple of 100 meters to your cabin. As well as that, you couldn't say that Ulyana was completely exhausted.
I'm so tired.
She wrapped herself in a blanket, turned away from me, and began to diligently fake loud snores. Okay then, see you tomorrow. I tried to leave, but Ulyana grabbed my hand again. Well, now what? She didn't say anything. She looked as if I'd scared her. Right, then, what should I do was completely unclear. Our little cassette adventure was idiotic from the beginning, but now it was beyond my comprehension. I had no idea what the logic behind her action was, what the meaning and motivation was. However, despite all this, I couldn't firmly say no. Something stopped me, maybe a sense of duty or pity or the patience which must be shown when communicating with children. Okay, what do you want from me?
Go to sleep with me.
Uh-oh. Danger. Seems like I've seen it somewhere already. Well, let's assume. I turned off the light and nestled beside her. Good thing I agreed, so I did.
Talk to me.
Just sleep, girl. What did I do?
Stop.
About what?
Tell me something interesting about yourself.
My life is not
Nothing to recall at all.
Something that's not the best idea. Nothing at all.
Can't be that bad.
Ulyana, she was lying with her eyes wide open. Get this out of here. She silently for a while and smiled back and said,
Here, you had fun.
Oh, that's true. I laughed.
Do you remember the scam?
First, I need to get out of here. Of course I will.
And the others?
I will. And me. And you.
Yeah.
Whispered Ulyana. Me fell her dripping, comfortable. Yeah. She must murmur. Just get out of here. Chill. I don't want to get banned though.
Look who's talking.
Okay, good. We're good. We're all good. We're all good, guys. Time was passing treacherously slowly. I decided it's only panties. It's a little girl's panties. I'm a grown man. That's not good. That'll get me banned from the Twitches, and I don't want to. Because this is my life. You won't. I'll take you for your word, but just in case, just in case. The seconds seemed to be hours. My eyes began to slowly close. I struggled to stay awake. I blinked for a moment and woke up, only to realize that my state was close to unconscious. Maybe just close your eyes for a minute. What's so terrible about that? The thought flashed through my head, and immediately I drifted off. Good night. See you. Oh, day 7. We did it. We're at day 7. There's one more choice I gotta do, and I gotta do it right. There are probably worse things in life than falling asleep while being cuddled by a little girl. And now the door opens and armed men leap toward us. I can't make out what they're screaming, but their intentions are clearly far from good. Nah, I'm not scared at all. Rather, I'm embarrassed or even ashamed. When I opened my eyes, it took me some time to realize where exactly I was. It was dark in here. Only a dim light was gleaming under the door. Why do they make storage rooms without windows? Although obviously that's the way it should be. But why on earth would anyone bring a TV set and a VCR in here then? I cursed the architects of this building in my mind and shook Ulyana by her shoulders. Come on, get up now. She stretched as if we were lying together. I could see her sleepy eyes, even in the dark.
Well, let me sleep.
Ulyana tried to turn away, but I firmly grabbed her shoulder with my hand. I don't know what time it is, but regardless, it would be smart for us to get out of here.
Not now, later,
she whispered, half asleep. I said, wake up, come on. I jumped up and easily pulled her to her feet.
Ooh, go.
Moaning Ulyana with frustration in her voice. I started to look for the light switch, but then suddenly heard footsteps outside the door. My heart sank. Why so early? We have a truckload of work to do. No time to waste. You know that we have to do it all before the departure. Alright, fine. It looked like our 2 amped up cybernetics are paying a visit to the clubhouse before the break of dawn today. Shush! I whispered to Ulyana.
And what's the...
She didn't manage to finish her sentence as I silenced her with my hand. Well, I understand all that, but we might at least have waited until after breakfast. Oh, do you have something else to do? Not really. I heard some hesitation in Electronic's voice. This music again. Sure you don't want to head off to the library bright and early again? Hadn't the slightest intention. He replied fretfully. Oh yeah, sure, if you say so. Soon the work kicked off behind the door. I could hear hammer strikes, machines rattling, and electronics buzzing. Electronic and Shurik were discussing their own matters, so he wasn't paying much attention. I was more interested in knowing when they'll finally leave the building. Rather soon, breakfast time is coming. But if we take Shurik's passion into consideration...
Let go of me!
Ulyana finally wrestled her way out, but didn't raise her voice at all.
Why can't we just leave?
She asked under her breath. And what do you think? It's all fine?
Well, what's the problem?
Well, we've spent the whole night here together, and it's obvious that what they'd assume, considering I'd taken the precaution of closing the door.
So?
What do you mean, so? I tiredly sighed. Just trust me, I know that it doesn't matter to you, but it does me.
Okay, fine, we'll keep hiding here.
Agreed Ulyana resentfully. I was prepared to wait for a long time if necessary, but barely a couple of minutes later the front door opened and somebody came in. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Morning. It was Slavia. I just wanted to ask if you happen to have any sticky tape. We do, somewhere, replied Shurik thoughtfully. Take a look in the back room. These words gave me goosebumps and I grabbed the door handle in a stranglehold. Slavia approached the door from the opposite side and tried to pull it open, but I was straining against the door with all my strength. It's locked. It can't be. We never locked that room. Let me try. Shurik yanked the door handle, but nothing happened, although it took a lot of effort for me to hold it steady. It's stuck. Give me a hand here. In a few moments, they were trying to open the door together with Electronic. I grasped the handle as if my whole life was depending on it. But regardless, this was a short struggle. My hands quickly gave out, and I let go. The door slammed open and bright sunlight blinded me, so I couldn't see the startled faces of each Shurik, Electronic, and Slavia for the first few seconds. And we are screwed. Ahem. Good morning.
Morning.
Ulyana was standing behind me so that I couldn't see her, but I could feel the embarrassment in her voice. And what are you doing here? Asked Shurik, almost as if he wasn't surprised. Well, to tell you the truth, we were watching a movie. Ulyana brought a tape and you have a VCR here. Shrek distrustfully stared into the depths of the back room. I gave Ulyana a nudge in the side until she got the message and displayed the tape. And what's that movie? A barely visible grin crossed Electronic's face. Just a regular film, a thriller, the latest thriller. And I imagined what he and the others were thinking right now, and I was overwhelmed with rage. If you think, wait, nothing like that. That's all my fault. It was me, guys. I did it. Nobody's accusing you of anything, said Slavia without looking at me. At least there's one sensible person among all present here. Yet, she added under her breath. What?
Everything was exactly as he told you.
Ulyana joined the conversation.
We were just watching a film, then felt sleepy. It was all so late.
Good ending secured? Yeah! Huzzah! We didn't think anything. Just a stupid situation. Come on, enough. Electronic tried to pull it off with a jest. I think Olga will be the judge here, Slavia said in a cool voice. Hey, wait, why take this to the camp leader? Who else? But you see, we're telling the truth. You think you should save there and to get the bad ending? Yeah, I will, don't worry. I have it saved earlier, so I can just fast forward to this part again. I am not the one to judge. Damn it, then who? We have seen everything with your own eyes. That's for the camp leader to decide. Slavia said quietly and turned to go. Just wait. He appeared before the door in a single bound and blocked her way. Listen, this is none of my business. Slavia was trying to avoid my gaze. It seemed like she's also uncomfortable about the situation. I am just obligated to... Who are you obligated to? Why do you need to do this? Because she was unable to find the words to finish. So you don't have to go. Anywhere. You don't have to tell anyone anything. No, she said nervously, but then raised her head and gave me an intense gaze. I'm sorry, Semyon.
Just leave her. Let her go.
I turned my head to Ulyana. This fraction of a second was good enough for Slavia to slip out of the clubhouse. Wait, just wait! I yelled at her as she ran, but it had no effect. Pursuing Slavia in a futile attempt to prevent her from going to the camp leader made no sense. If she intends to, I can't exactly tie her up. He doesn't really need a bad ending to complete the game. Yeah, maybe. I just want to see the bad ending, just for funsies. Also, welcome, Caressoro, to the stream. How are you doing today? I hope you are doing very well.
She can't prove anything anyway.
Yeah, if I want to. I want to see all good and bad endings. Ulyana chuckled.
Yuck, 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 yuck.
Who cares whether she can prove anything or not? Don't you understand your position in all this? In any situation, you're involved in your guilt is a foregone conclusion. Moreover, in a case like this...
Well, we are responsible together then.
She smirked trickily. Exactly. I left the building and sat on the stairs. Well, we will be on your side in case, right, Shrek? I think so. I don't understand clearly what happened here, but presumably nothing that worrying. Okay, we are going for breakfast. Soon we lost sight of them. To get all the achievements I need? I think so. Yeah.
Let's go and eat there. Let's go and eat as well.
Ulyana said cheerfully. Food is all you think about.
Why bother crying? What will it change?
She was right about it, that at least. We just have to wait for the camp's leader's decision. Let's just go. We headed to the canteen. All the camp had gathered for breakfast, except Olga and Slavia. It might be for the best, I guess.
What are you thinking about?
Ulyana asked me cheerfully when we took our food and sat. The same thing.
Come on, stop worrying about nothing.
Maybe it's nothing for you. Well, really, what was particularly bad about that? Every situation can be interpreted from different angles, and especially if you have a reason.
Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
You know, our camp leader, she's a bit eccentric.
Well, maybe so, but we didn't do anything like that. Anything at all.
I hope she believes that, too. My relationship with Ulyana had improved dramatically lately. At first, I only saw her as a naughty, ill-mannered child, but now I started to see the good sides of her character, although there weren't too many. And now, just when everything was starting to work out, a hard conversation with the camp leader loomed on ahead. Maybe I just dreamt everything that happened, and Slavia's reaction this morning was just caused by surprise. Enjoying your meal? Olga was hanging over me. She looked at me menacingly. Yeah?
Yes?
Would you mind explaining your behavior? Mind explaining what? Well, for example, how you managed to be in the Cybernetics Club's utility room. Where did you get the key? What were you even doing there? I recalled the circumstances in which I obtained this cursed key. I should speak to Electronic about that. If Slavia told you our version,
We were watching a film.
Ulyana claimed seriously. The whole night? The camp leader asked sarcastically.
Then I just fell asleep and Xenia stayed with me.
And so there was no chance for you to go to your cabins.
Not even a tiny one.
And what are you going to say? Well, it sounds really stupid, but she's right. You expect me to believe that? Well, it's the truth. I can't really accuse you of anything. The camp leader started slowly. But on the other hand, this entire situation is beyond normal. Pioneers must not behave this way, and there are too many inconsistencies in your story. We get it, I agreed fatalistically. I will do the following. Ulyana, you are on detention, and you will be confined to your cabin, and I will decide what to do with you later. I looked at Ulyana attentively. Contrary to my expectations, she didn't look upset. Clearly, I do not think this is your fault, but to be fair...
Great, you know where to find me in case you need me.
She stood up instantly and headed to the exit. Olga didn't try to stop her. There's always too much trouble with her, and she got you into all this. I don't really get what she got me into. And you seem to be too harsh on her. Show me another pioneer like her. The camp leader laughed. When she receives detentions for misbehaving, that's another story. But here... Actually, I don't really understand what was indeed going on, but my duty is to look after your morale character. And the situation is suspicious, highly suspicious. And how long are you going to keep her imprisoned? I don't know. Olga pondered for some time. Today is the departure, but in these circumstances... What departure? I jumped at the word. The term is ending today. This is the last day. What? It was the only response I could squeeze out. The last day, meaning... I'll finally be able to leave this damn camp. Maybe it's time for my suffering to end, and I'll get back to my ordinary reality. But why so suddenly? Suddenly for who? I talked about it in the lineup. She has a point. At the lineups, I was usually sleeping or looking around. I didn't really listen to the announcements. And at what time? At about 5 o'clock. Don't forget to get ready. I hardly have anything to pack. She stood up, took a tray, and was going to leave. So what's going to happen to Ulyana? I don't know yet. I told you. She will probably leave later. How's that? Not with everyone? Well, yes. Is that normal? I was truly surprised. What's wrong with it? I don't know about wrong, but it's quite strange for sure. Well, I still have work to do. I dug aimlessly at my porridge, which had gone cold long ago. Departure, the possibility of getting out of here. But on the other hand, Ulyana. I myself felt guilty before her. In the end, she was penalized while I, at the same time, wasn't. That was not fair. No, it's not like I wanted to share her misery. But I don't think that it's fair that she sits there locked up. Well, there is still some time before leaving. It should be quite enough to make the situation clear. First, I decided to talk with Slavia. Hope she has calmed down. Slavia, you betrayed me. My revenge will be swift. I'd gotten used to finding Slavia at the square, so I went there without any doubt. Why exactly there? Because in this camp, I predominantly met her there, but there wasn't a single soul near Genda's Haven. I stood there for a while, looking at the monument, then headed to the library. It makes sense that Xenia could know where her neighbor is right now. After knocking at the door, recalling my previous experience, this was not a useless mannerism. I went in. Xenia distracted herself from her book and looked closely at me. What do you want? What's wrong? Why do you react like that? I can't even come in? What, you came here for no reason? I doubt you wanted to read something. Well, no. the classics of Marxist-Leninism weren't my favorite literature. I wanted to know where Slavia is. Why do you want to know? She said that as if she was sure that the conversation is over, and thus she proceeded with her reading. Well, since I'm asking, clearly I need to know. Should be on the pier, Xenia answered indifferently. Thanks. Learning what I want to know, I hurried out of the stronghold of malice. Yes, Xenia has a tough spirit. Hello, Belora. O2. Yeah. Welcome to the stream. How are you? What's up? How you doing? How is life? At least I have issues. I have issues understanding her. On the pier, some pioneers were pulling boats into docks while others were running around with oars or ropes. What are you playing? This is Everlasting Summer. This is a visual novel. It's a very nice visual novel, too. I'm quite liking it. After looking closely, I noticed Slavia, who sat quite far away, near the water. Life is exams. What does that mean? What are you talking about? Life is exams, though, and it sucks. Cleaning up? I asked the most neutral question that came to my mind. Yep, she answered without turning. Listen, I want to talk about Ulyana. Well, Ultima, maybe it is a nice visual novel. It is a nice visual novel. It's my... Let's see, I've read 3 visual novels. We'll say that this is in my top 3 of favorite visual novels. Yeah. Well, yeah. Honestly speaking, I have no idea what to talk about. Slavia found us in the storage room, got it wrong, and told everything to the camp leader. Now it's not her concern anymore if you think about it. On the other hand, it would be a waste of time to talk to Olga now. Maybe I just subconsciously wanted to understand Slavia's reasoning, to be able to resolve her somehow. So what did you want to say? Well, Ulyana got punished. Maybe she won't even leave with us. No wonder. I just wanted to explain to you that nothing special happened there. Frankly speaking, I don't know. I just had to report anything. Everything. 'Cause I'm a big tattletale. Yay! So you did. Did it leave anyone better off? I mumbled to myself. Of course, I'm not sure that it was right. Did I play Danganronpa? No, I have not. Do you know what system it's for? If it's for a system I own, I'll check it out, she said confusingly. Well, what's done is done. Do you think it's possible to get Ulyana freed from house arrest? You're worrying about her so much. Slavia finally looked at me and smiled. Not about her, about justice. While I was a bit confused, I found the right answer. Well, you know our camp leader. Just PS4 and PC. If it's on Steam, I can get it on Steam. I do, that's for sure. Just wait, she'll calm down eventually. Well, yes, I guess that was the best decision. Yes, you're right. I stood near her in silence for some time. Slavia didn't seem eager to keep on talking. Still, there was some sense of incompleteness. But faced with the idea of this uncomfortable situation lasting for several hours, I decided not to be a burden. Okay, I'll go then. See you, she smiled. In the middle of the square, I stopped to think. It's on Steam? Yeah, good stuff. Everything should be on Steam. There's still a lot of time till the departure, and I have nothing to do. Just yesterday, when it seemed like I was stuck here forever and had lots of time, even though there was actually very little, I felt a need to think and act faster. But now that I've got only 5 hours left till I leave this camp forever, I have not a single idea on how to spend them. I decided to visit Ulyana. After all, even if she isn't allowed to leave her cabin, that doesn't mean I cannot pay her a visit. I knocked gently.
You're not welcome here.
An angry voice sounded from behind the door. I pulled on the handle and entered. You like the Zero Escape visual novels? Are all the characters girl? No, I'm a main character. My main character is a guy, and there's 2 guy, smart peoples. Everyone else is a girl, though. There's also a weird, mysterious pioneer here as well. Hail, prisoner.
Oh, it's you.
Zero Escape visual novels, what are they about? Are they good? Ulyana said disappointedly. And what, am I the only one who isn't welcome here? I tried to smile.
Why didn't you come?
Well, I thought that you'd be bored here all alone.
I'm fine.
Where is Alyssa?
As you can see, not here.
Come on, why are you so angry? In the morning you were in such a better mood.
Angry? Me?
Not me, that's for sure.
You have nothing else you have nothing else to do, so you came here, right?
Yeah, my bad. They are about being locked up and trying to escape. Nice. Kind of like this right now. I'm locked in this room. I'm not really locked in this room, but still. I sighed theoretically and hung my head.
Well, sit down then.
I sat on the opposite bed.
So tell me something.
Let's come up with some way to prove to Olga that we did nothing wrong.
I did nothing wrong.
Ulyana corrected me. You seem to have nothing to do with it. Okay, let it be.
But why?
A tricky question. It feels like we've swapped our roles. I was suggesting a stupid plan while she was a voice of reason. Well, because we did nothing wrong.
What's the matter with you anyhow? I'll just stay grounded for a couple of hours and that's it. We'll have to depart soon anyway.
She flopped down the bed. And stared at the ceiling. Well, sure, but... I tried hard to cheer her up, but it looks like I haven't succeeded so far. Want to do something, maybe?
It's lunchtime already.
I took a glance at my watch. Yeah, right. Here's a job
for you. Since I mustn't go out, go and bring me something to eat.
Sir, yes, sir. I saluted her and hurried out of the cabin. Recently, I started to think that finally something had clicked in Ulyana's mind. Maybe the punishment had an effect on her, or possibly it was something else, and my attitude toward her had changed. Her wrongdoings used to make me feel nothing but irritation, but now there was also understanding and a sort of sympathy. After all, I used to be a child too. Perhaps if one explained to her what is right and what is not, she might be able to avoid many mistakes. The voice acting of that red thing, in this game? In the canteen, I had an argument with the cook who refused to give me a double serving. However, everyone in the camp already knew about Ulyana being grounded, so eventually my powers of persuasion won out over dietary standards. Yeah. Soon I was sitting at Ulyana's cabin and tucking away meatballs with potatoes. Just like a last meal.
What are you talking about?
Well, every death row prisoner has a right to make a last wish. Thus, my last wish is a lunch like this. To my surprise, the food was really delicious. What would your wish be?
Well, not to be executed, of course.
She laughed. You can.
Why? If you can wish for anything.
Well, you can, but within certain limits. If you mean the voice acting of Ulyana, by the way, this red thing, that's my voice. And yes, I know, my voice acting's horrible. But I'm trying my best, guys. Ultima's little girl voice is fine. That's right, Selene, thank you.
That means not anything.
Well, okay then, it's not anything.
Then that's not interesting.
Well, I believe being a death row prisoner is hardly meant to be interesting in the first place. I grinned through my teeth.
I wouldn't know. I never went through that experience.
But if you think about it, that's almost my situation. This camp is my cell. For several more hours I'll stay under house arrest, then I'll face uncertainty, just like I would after death. The only difference is that I had more options. If I wanted to attend lineup, then I'd do so. If not, then I didn't. What are you going to do next?
What do you mean?
Well, after the camp. She looked at me in surprise.
Back to school, of course.
Yes, only for me leaving this kind of place is kind of like crossing a barrier, a frontier, the end of something and a beginning of something else. A week ago, it was terribly hard for me to realize that I had been pulled out of my usual world and brought to God knows where. But then I got used to it, and here we go again. Basically, the only difference is that now I face not a sense of fear and horror, but a blunt, sinking feeling of uncertainty.
And you?
I'll find something to do.
Something?
She burst into peals of laughter.
Yeah.
Good laughter. Yeah, what's the matter?
You should have gone to a circus school and to be a clown.
Why?
One can help laughing when looking at you.
But why?
You always act like some kind of a martyr, a new messiah for all the Russians.
Well, there were quite a bit of truth to her words. I have my reasons, I mumbled and turned to face the window.
What reasons?
Various. Why are you so curious?
Have you forgotten that I'm a child?
She grinned archly. Well, half an hour with you is like a terrible torture for me.
Look who's talking. You're just one really nasty-tempered person.
What makes you think so?
You're always deep in soul-searching, trying to find out something, analyzing everyone around you.
I should get a jigsaw and get rid of that red thing? This thing? The red girl? No, Ulyana's nice. See, look at that face. That's the face of a nice person. I gave Ulyana an amazing look. I would never have expected such a little girl to be capable of such mature judgment. And
that's it.
At the very least, I know how to behave myself, and I don't end up grounded. It's
a matter of chance.
She grinned. Yeah, sure.
If last night...
She stopped short. Last night what?
Nothing.
No, finish what you started.
She just opened
her mouth when steps were heard behind the door, and a second later, Olga had entered the room. Ah, there you are. That's even better. She seemed confused and lost for words. Well, I reconsidered this morning's incident. It's not like it became much clearer, but it doesn't look like a big deal. So, Ulyana, you're officially not grounded anymore. It's alright, guys, don't worry. Everyone has opinions. Everyone has ulti-pinions. Maybe I think Olga's annoying. Well, she's not, but maybe I do. If only you did that right from the start. I don't have to use Jigsaw. What do you mean Jigsaw, like from the Saw movies? I muttered. Did you say something? Just use a pillow. Sheesh. You silly man, you silly. No, nothing. Departure is coming. Time to pack your stuff. Saying that, she left the cabin.
Now you see how it all turned out.
Yeah, I sighed. Are you going to pack?
Yeah, I guess so. And you?
It's not like I've got much to pack. Indeed, it was the truth.
Care to help me then?
Okay, sure, why not? She started to pull her clothes out of the cabinets and stack them on her bed. Watch it, you'll mess up everything.
It's okay, I'll wash them at home.
T-shirts, skirts, shorts, dresses, shoes, trainers, underwear. The pile of clothes was growing and growing. You really brought all this stuff here all on your own? Considering Ulyana's constitution, it was hard to believe.
Yes, of course.
She laughed. Come on, nerd.
Come on, give me a hand. I sounded like an adult for a second. That was weird.
We've started to pack up the clothes into a big bag. I tried to pack things carefully at first, but after realizing that it's pointless, resorting to just stuffing everything in to make it all fit. At last, there were no clothes on the bed, and we even somehow managed to zip up the bag.
So, that's it.
Yeah. I looked at the clock. It was about 40 minutes until the departure time. It changed her mind. It would get her sis angry. Well, she doesn't have a sister, I don't think. I don't think she has a sister. It was
fun.
Meaning?
Well, the last week was fun.
Oh, yeah, I said absent-mindedly.
Don't you think so?
Why?
It sounded sort of insecure to me.
Well, I must admit that I'm not exactly walking on air, yeah.
But what didn't you like?
It's not like I could spit out everything at once. You see, a few moments were, how can I put it, a little unexpected.
Blah, you're so boring,
said Ulyana and turned away from me. Well, what did you expect from me?
You sound like you've got absolutely nothing to remember later.
Yeah, there sure is plenty to remember. I gleamed.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
She looked closely at me. That made me a bit uncomfortable. It wasn't her sis? Oh, you're bad. No, the person talking to her now is me. A dude. who was whisked away to a summer camp. What now?
And me, will you remember me?
Sure I will. Everyone.
Everyone.
And you most of all. I saluted, springing up to attention with my hand over my heart.
That's better.
However, I do really have something to remember about her. Do I, rather. Yeah, we had a lot of adventures, but who is Ulyana for me? Just a nosy kid from another reality. On second thought, I do really care about... Do I really care that much about my situation now? From the very first moment I appeared here, everything changed tremendously, so right now, I was just curious what's going to happen next. Sure, the unknown is not the most pleasant perspective, but I must admit that it's a breathtaking one. Whether I will return to my world or not is not up to me anymore. It means that I don't really have any choice. I have to adapt to the local living conditions. And one of these conditions was sitting right in front of me, smiling broadly. You know, you're not as silly as I first thought.
Why'd you think I'm silly in the first place?
She said in an offended tone. Just kidding.
You and your jokes.
Alright, it's time.
Let's go!
Ulyana said happily and pointed at the bag. Yeah. I shouldered her belongings. The weight almost made me bend in half. I was thankful for the fact that the bus stop was just a few hundred meters away. I shoved her stuff onto the bus and then hurried to get my own humble luggage. After some time, all the pioneers were here. And here we all are, once again. Everyone is here? Began Olga. You're leaving our camp today, and I'd like to tell you something in parting. Can I skip this? Nope, can't do it. She was visibly nervous and desperately lost for words. I hope that you'll remember the time you spent here for a lifetime, and that you'll retain only pleasant memories about Savagnac. I also hope that you become at least a little bit better, managed to learn something and found new friends. Just come back next year. The camp leader turned away. It seemed she was trying to hold back her tears. You just want that girl's hair gel? Well, you haven't even seen Miku yet, Ballora. Wait till you see Miku. I wasn't expecting her to get so emotional, but I completely agreed with everything she said. Perhaps it was the first time that her words haven't just passed by my ears. Did you see that purple-haired girl's hair, by the way? It was purple. Blue hair, pink hair. Soon enough, everyone boarded the bus. I took the last seat next to Ulyana. The first row was taken by Slavia and Xenia. Then a little closer to us, Lena, Miku, Electronic, and Shurik were playing cards. Alyssa slouched in her seat alone 2 rows from us. There was no partner for her. Ha 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 ha! That'll show you, Slavia. Or Alyssa, or whoever that was. It turned out a bit embarrassing for your neighbor.
It's fine. You helped me to get ready and brought my stuff here.
I looked at her closely. It seems this little demon had changed her attitude toward me in a radical way. In a radical way. Could it be that I'm a friend to her? An odd word that seemed to have lost its meaning for me ages ago. Savagnac. It's Savagnac? I know that's an umlaut above the E. I don't know how to pronounce it, though. I can't recall any of my acquaintances when I still had them, who I could call friends, maybe even back when I was at school. And now someone considers me a friend. Anyway, what does it all mean to me? I always felt more comfortable thinking about abstract stuff, distant perspectives and global matters than of simple ordinary issues. And indeed, during all the time I spent in this camp, I've managed to become close friends with Ulyana. She awakened these long-forgotten feelings in me, because this is what it means to be buddies or friends. That's the name of the camp, Ballora. E is Russian letter Y. Savagnac. Savagnac? Is that right? I smiled and tousled her hair gently.
And what was that for?
She puffed her lips, just because.
Perfect. Will you marry me when I grow up?
Sure.
I'll hold you to that.
Okie dokie.
Let's go join them at cards.
Why not? Just a normal conversation. It's fine. We gathered around the suitcase that was being used as a table. Soon Alyssa joined us. I was laughing a lot, cracking jokes, and just enjoying being in a state one usually calls happiness. A simple happiness here and now. Right now, this bunch of pioneers that I've managed to befriend in this short week were a million times more important to me than finding out how I came to this world and how to get out of here. In the end, should I even bother trying to get back? Well, we kind of have no choice here, do we? It was getting dark. The game was long over, and the pioneers had returned to their seats. I had no idea how long it would take to get to the district center, but it seemed like an eternity. From beyond the bus windows, only pitch darkness was looking back at me, almost consuming the entire world, compressing only to the size of the Icarus cabin. Anyway, the surroundings were the least of my concerns now. I was enjoying the moment. Ah, she's so cute, like a pillow. Yeah. Cute. Excuse me. It seems like this reality is completely normal. And does it really matter how I got here if things turn out this great? I became another person and met new friends.
What are you thinking about?
About life.
And how is it going?
Just awesome. Ulyana laughed quietly. I don't have a place to return to, so I can choose any life path I want. Yes, we will part ways soon, and I will probably never see most of them again, but we will stay friends, forever. Maybe E sounds like yo? Savanyak. Yeah, see? Savanyak. Yo, Savanyak. I hope I'm pronouncing it somewhat right. You should accept that the girl was not that annoying. Yes. She's not that annoying. Maybe she was when the game started, but I've seen more annoying people than this. Oh boy, have I seen more annoying people. A pleasant warmth flowed through my body. I felt like a kid again. Ulyana put her head on my shoulder and quickly fell asleep. Alyssa? What, did I say Alyssa accidentally? Sometimes you may feel tired, not because of hard work or sad feelings, but also because of fun, joy, and happiness. You may probably even want to continue, but have no energy to. With your soul demanding time to rest your body, asking for calm. I fell asleep with a smile on my face. Alyssa is more annoying? Oh boy. I'll have to do her route soon too. It's gonna be a rough one, guys. I fell asleep with a smile on my face. Good night! Day ... Oh, goodness gracious. It felt like I hadn't slept at all. It happens all the time. You just close your eyes and fall asleep. The hour hand makes several turns. The morning comes and you wake up, but it feels like you just blinked. I yawned so wide that I almost broke my jaw and jumped up because of the pain. Something was wrong. Though not something, everything was wrong. I'm back home again! It's Monic. What's Monic, Alyssa? I was back in my apartment. But how can that be possible? I began to panic and started to run around my room in the hope of calming myself down. Physical tiredness can often overcome an emotional one. My head was empty, fear and terror took over my whole being, and some kind of a song was floating in my mind. Maybe a prayer, or maybe just an incoherent jumble of thoughts designed... just Monica. Oh, is it just Monica now? Doki doki. If not to calm me down, then at least to distract me from my panic. It was about half an hour before I collapsed on the floor, exhausted, and fixed my eyes on the ceiling. It seems that like I had not gone anywhere. The old chandelier looked down at me unkindly with its dusty lamps. The cracks in the plaster were in the same places, and the unstuck wallpaper hadn't slipped down even a little. Was it really a dream? But it can't be. It just can't be. I spent an entire week at that pioneer camp. I was definitely there. I remember everything perfectly, from my awakening aboard the bus right up to the departure. Neither dreams nor hallucinations can be that real. Somehow I stood up, went to the kitchen, filled a glass with water, and returned to the room. The blood was still hammering in my temples, but at least the terror of the first few minutes was gone, or had just taken a break. I concentrated on the last thing I remembered. It was the departure from the camp. The night, the bus bouncing over the bumps, the dirty, murky glass, beyond which almost nothing was visible, and the pioneers. I've been absolutely positive that I would never return, or just didn't think about it. Anyway, I was prepared for our arrival at the district center in a few hours, and was already considering options for my further actions. Or not. Damn it! I roared and pulled on my hair with all my strength. Are there any unnatural or mysterious things in that story? Yes, there are many. And many, many more that will appear too. I can't remember. The last hours in that world merged into a monotonous mirage. As if a drunken Renoir was completing his painting with a roller instead of a brush. As if a drunken inkling was completing his Splatfest with a roller instead of a brush. There, that made more sense to me. But it's not that bad. Wait a minute, why would it be bad? On the contrary, everything is fine. I would even say perfect. I've broken free from that goddamn world and returned home. The most important thing now is to not end up there again. It might happen, surely it could. I hope it does. But it might not happen as well. Indeed, I have nothing to worry about now. Everything will be fine. Obviously, I was just seeing things. Exactly, I was seeing things. It doesn't matter that everything felt that real. Something like that just can't happen. It can. I claim with all due confidence that it just can't. Modern science claims it's impossible. Not allowed. I laughed loudly. Ho 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 ho. An inner voice tried to stop the verbal diarrhea spouting from my mouth, but it didn't succeed. It feels like my speech and thoughts are separating to exist on their own independent from each other. My brain prompted me to calm down and try to analyze the situation, while my tongue simply tried to ease the stress by throwing new meaningless words out into the air. Finally, I was somehow able to pull myself together. I pulled the curtains open and looked out the window. Aww, doesn't this look nice, guys? The night city looked exactly the same as it did a week ago. The view brought my mind back to reality, at least to some extent. After all, if everything is now normal and nothing suspicious or supernatural is happening, then wasn't it just a dream? Why the all main characters sees a thing literally, but they just can't accept they saw something? 'Cause it just feels like a dream, you know? You're in a weird place and then you're back, so it feels like a dream. Sorry for bad English, don't worry about it, friend. You're good, don't worry. I'm bad at English as well, and I'm American. Essentially, there are only two options now. I can agree that it was just a dream and calm down, or I can trust my own feelings and accept that the camp, the bus, and the pioneers were real. Either way, whatever I choose, I won't get any answers. It's funny, I was looking for these answers for a whole week, or at least pretending to, and found nothing. But I broke free from that weird world anyway, and what now? The enigma remains, and additional questions have surfaced. In the end, I was exhausted and fell onto the bed. In a few seconds, I was snoring blissfully. The end. Much time has passed from the moment I came back from Salvagnac, and a lot has changed in my life. The first week I was racking my brains, trying to summarize in detail everything that had happened, creating graphs and diagrams, writing to forums discussing paranormal phenomena. I even planned to visit a psychic. We did it. Did we do it, Selene? I think we did. In the end, it resulted in nothing, just as one would expect. It's no wonder. I was just a human being, but these events obviously were the affair of a supreme mind. Did it really end? Not the end. We got one ending. We got a new ending. If a caveman found himself in the early 21st century, even he would understand more than me. Well, at first he would think that a cell phone that transmutes someone's speech dozens kilometers away by the will of a god is a miracle, but one can get used to it. Maybe if he completed secondary and higher Okay, I don't care about this caveman crap. I'm unlikely to even understand how it worked or who was behind it, and I doubt I could get used to it if it were to happen again. But if one question troubled me ever since, why? Why me? More endings? Yes, more endings. Yep, one more Ulyana scene is waiting for me too, which I'll do today. What did I or did I not do to deserve this bad or good luck? Sure, in sci-fi novels, wonders often occur to quite ordinary people, but that was just a matter of chance. But I was absolutely positive that these events have occurred for some reason, just like a random sci-fi hero who traveled 1,000 years forward in time, leaving him in the wrong time and place. But in the future, no one knew him. Everyone thought that he was just a madman. But in my situation, they were expecting me at the camp, at least the camp leader was. How should I respond to that? Maybe I was picked out at random or to be studied later on. Even so, the question why not only still stands, but rather becomes even more important. After not finding any sufficient explanation, I returned to my usual existence. But now I wasn't just sitting at the computer 24/7, wiping the F5 button free of dust. New interests came into my life, but what they were I couldn't tell myself. And suddenly, I went to get a high education. Yeah, brother. I'm joking. You hate text-based endings? Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but still, the rest of the game is still pretty amazing. Not to find a job, not because it's necessary, just because I remembered how much fun I'd had during the first year of education. Chatting with course mates, days of lighthearted youth fun, plenty of the energy that I'd lacked so much of over the last few years. A truly great man once said, "Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking." It's hard to argue with that logic. An ordinary man will not sit around because he is lazy, but because a given subject is just of no interest to him. For instance, I'm not interested in knitting. Okay. I gotcha. Even if he is interesting, even if it absorbs me so completely that I can't turn away, that part will only come later. For now, all I need is to get a book from the shelf and open it, but I feel too lazy. I don't know what exactly influences me, but about half of my time, instead of the 5 to 10% of it from before, I was occupied with something useful. I read, wrote, studied something new, and engaged in sports. At least I exercised in the morning. Sometimes I thought that it was the influence of the camp. One can't rule out that possibility. For all 7 days, there I was participating in social activities. Okay, we're good. Verbal communication with others, terror. On the other hand, it's not so easy to change one's personality in a single week, especially for someone as stubborn as me. But it's easy to point them out in a new direction, show them a guiding line. However, I'd never believed that it would be possible with me. Anyway, I enjoyed these changes so much that I try not to think about their causes. What the hell? Nobody would worry about the why if he managed to hit the jackpot by betting his last pair of trousers. In summer, I re-enrolled at university and studies started in autumn. Time passed, I eagerly attended lectures and seminars and studied for tests and examinations with a level of enthusiasm that I wouldn't have expected from myself. You want to say something Belloria should be pronounced like Bellora? Bellora? Is that right? Bellora. Is that your username? That's something I gotta do. Pronounce usernames correctly. Also, thank you, Stay Hydrated Bot, for telling me of the stuff. Older than most students, cause of your natural immaturity or changes in my personality. Bellora. Alright, I gotcha. Bellora. I didn't know for sure. Most likely the answer is somewhere in the middle. The joy of communicating with people, lost many years ago, returned. It was easy to get along with others. Their problems didn't seem so distant and trivial to me. Normal life, which before I had considered just a gray, depressing mass, started to shine with new colors. Sometimes it seemed like I turned into a doll because one of a billion identical tin soldiers standing in straight rows on a shelf in a toy shop. But in this shop, apart from the glowing, guys, I don't care about any of this. Jigsaw puzzles, Among His Broken Toys, Refuge and Charity. Basically, he's better now. He's a better person. Yes, don't show walls of text. I hope like other visual novel artists are watching this. Never make walls of text. We want to see these things, you know? It was the last session of the hardest subject this term. Most students didn't like it, because of its difficulty and the hard-to-understand teacher, I suppose. But I found a kind of pleasure in dealing with tables, graphs, and diagrams. Counting the figures by pieces, I arranged them in columns and lines in the right order, summing up, subtracting, dividing, and multiplying. Math, not math! And using them to get a precise picture of any event. No number could avoid my attentive gaze. You had a German and French exam tomorrow, so good night, everyone. Oh, geez. Good luck, Ballora. I wish you luck. You have my bestest, hopes and wishes. Thanks for stopping by also. I'll see you hopefully next time. I'll definitely watch that episode on YouTube. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy. No number could avoid my attentive gaze. All of them would be captured, calculated, analyzed. Each of them would get an index number and a place in their proper cell. After its arrival, every digit will be assigned a bunk. Work uniforms and off-duty clothes will be sent to perform its designated task. Some will be digging a trench from 9 to 5, some will march off to face the trends, and some will be trying to hit a linear regression on the shooting range. What are you thinking about? Reluctantly, I stopped writing and gazed at my classmate, taking notes on the lecture, as you can see. Oh, just screw it. Just read the workbook afterwards. I'll read the workbook as well. I'm always astonished by you. What's so astonishing? You're planning to gain a first-class diploma, aren't you? Never thought of it. Don't tell me you really find it interesting. I remember that just a moment ago, I imagined myself emblazoned on a banner, borne aloft by a regiment of digits. Oh, man, stretching this feels great. I couldn't help smiling. We won't even need all this stuff. Everything will be needed, at least for general development. My classmate grinned sarcastically. I bet you never read even a single book in your whole life. So what? He asked challengingly. Just stating a fact. And you are always somewhere up in the clouds. He was right about that. Although I regained part of my lost social skills, I often slipped out of touch with reality, dreaming of something else. You say it like it's a bad thing, and there's nothing wrong with not reading books either. Human beings can't have only material needs, I said philosophically, mocking him. Oh, you're such a downer. Yawn. The lecture was approaching its end, and I began to plan out the rest of the day. Need to buy some groceries and later finish a project and send it to the client. And then I get to write down notes. And then in the evening I can just read or watch something. Unless someone phones or writes to me, there are no urgent matters, so I can spare some time for my mates. Oh, 5 whole minutes to go. I looked at my phone and realized that it is exactly a year after I returned from the Savagnac pioneer camp. My soul felt warmer from such thoughts, and I smiled blissfully. It's not often any more than I can recall those events. Obviously, one can't just forget something like that. Those moments of something bizarre and extraordinary that are engraved in my memory forever. Normally, even the happiest moments fade and just reminiscences of them remain. Nothing more, but the week spent in Savagnac was different. I remembered everything in perfect detail. The terror of the first minutes after waking up in the bus. The first day, hard, full of surprises and acquaintances. Amazing acquaintances. Cheerful and carefree pranks with Ulyana. Just take that trick with the ghosts, for instance. The best Soviet comedians would envy it. And the pioneers had such expressions. They were dying laughing. It would be nice to meet Ulyana in real life. While she is not always perfect, she's hyperactive, and she doesn't have any idea about good manners, but one doesn't meet such a sincere, carelessly cheerful and energetic person very often. Maybe she gave off some of that energy to me. The bell rang, my classmate stood up and said his goodbyes and left. I started packing my exercise books and textbooks into my backpack when I suddenly heard someone's voice in front of me. "Excuse me, is this the 34th lecture hall?" Or, hang on, I have a feeling on who this is, so I'm just gonna change the voice.
"Excuse me, is this the 34th lecture hall?"
There's a sign on the door.
"No, there's not."
Girl's voice sounded offended. Someone must have removed it.
"So is this the 34th?
Yeah. At least I closed the backpack and raised my head, intended to stand up. Wow. The girl looked terribly familiar. Haven't we?
Yes, I thought the same.
She looked very surprised, but I don't remember where I could have met you. Neither do I. What year are you in? First year. Oh, still pretty much green. Yeah, she's a lady now. All this music. The girl smiled. Everything is still ahead of me. As if I'm already past everything. And what about you? Fourth. So is it difficult to study? For the first year it is. I knew it, she said in an upset manner. But it gets easier with time. It's always easier when you get used to it. Yep, the hair stayed. The hair always stays. Sometimes I'm too lazy to do things. Yeah, that also happens. Do you still have any stuff from the first year? If you share it, it'll be easier for me to prepare for examinations. Obviously, I had nothing. My first year was finished a long time ago. But I suddenly felt a strong desire to ask for her phone number, so I lied. Yes, maybe, but I'll have to check. That's great. We exchange our telephone numbers. The music is a nice touch. I like this music. From the trailer. My name is Semyon. What should I call you?
Ulyana.
Ulyana. And then I realized who this girl reminded me of. Exactly. She's Ulyana, just around 5 years older. For a moment, I was lost for words. What? It's an ordinary name. That was Lenin's name, she said, pouting. No, just... Have you ever been to a pioneer camp? When I was a kid. Why are you asking? In the blink of an eye, all the events that happened in Savonyak flashed in front of my eyes. So it wasn't a dream. Although they were just summer camps, not pioneer ones, Ulyana added. So you weren't wearing a uniform? The ones with the red neckerchief? Of course not. Fashion police alert! She laughed loudly. But why are you asking? I was about to tell her everything, but then realized that she will just consider me a psycho. After all, this girl was much older than the Ulyana I remembered. Maybe she just looks like her. I had a dream, and I think I saw you there. A kind of deja vu. Deja... what? It was... It's when one sees something for the first time but believes he has seen it before. Well, now that you mention it, her face became serious. I think I've seen you somewhere as well. Definitely. Maybe it's that thing you just said. An interesting coincidence, don't you think? I don't know. Anyway, I'll give you a call. See ya! She laughed and ran out of the room. Appearances, behavior, way of talking. She's definitely that exact Ulyana. So, does that mean the dream is coming true? I can't help but enjoy it. And above all, I'll see this forever cheerful girl again for sure. Well, is that it? Yep. Attack on Pedo Bear. Why? Ulyana Good End. Every story has its beginning and its end. Every story has its own outline, synopsis, contents, key points, a prologue, and an epilogue. And there is no book which, if you read it again, would not reveal new details you didn't notice before. Every story has its beginning and its end. Almost every. Huh? Huh? Hey! We did it, guys. Ending number 3. No! Don't do that. Don't show us that, please. Everyone close your eyes. What a nice thing this was, though. Aww. I'm not looking. I'm not looking. I'm looking at the face and the soccer ball. That was great, though. I like Ulyana as a character. Well, time for the bad ending, I guess. Yep, many panty scenes. Thank you, and goodbye for now. Yep, goodbye for now. We'll be back. Oh boy. Yep. Not gay enough for your taste, but it's an alright game. Well, Selene, you haven't seen the whole game yet. Remember, we're doing all the routes. Aw, older Selene. Or older Ulyana. Selene confirmed to be Ulyana, accidentally. I think someone said once I do all the routes, a new route will appear, like the final route. Let's celebrate, guys, by checking out the bad ending. Fast forward, woo! Remember last time when I put all the blame on me? This time, that's all her fault. I pointed my finger at Ulyana. She looked at me strictly in turn. Nobody's accusing you of anything. Alright, we can skip all this, I guess. Can we? What do you want? What's wrong? Why did you react like that? I can't even come in? I think I can skip all this stuff. So I can still get the stuff. Punishment had an effect, her wrongdoings. I used to be a child too. Is it too late, guys? Did I fail? Let's just... Oh no, what are you talking about? This is new. Well, every death row prisoner... Oh no, never mind. Yeah, I'm gonna pack my stuff too. She didn't reply, so I left the cabin. Well, it looks like my last mission in this camp is complete. Ulyana's sentence was overturned after all. The only thing left for me is to leave this place and get ready for something new. I swept my eyes around the room and entered the camp leader's cabin. Do I have anything to pack anyway? I stuffed my winter clothes into a bag and took a seat on the bed. I was haunted by the agonizing feeling of incompleteness, either deja vu or a feeling that I'd forgotten something. But I still can't remember what it was exactly. When all is said and done, I haven't managed to find any answers here, and now I have to continue my quest elsewhere. Does it really matter how and why I came here if it's not possible to escape? And it seems that nothing's up to me anyway. Everything seems simpler before. Sure, I had no major prospects, but my perspectives were hardly mind-blowing. But at least everything was pretty much clear. Yet the week I've spent here raised more issues than my whole previous life. I think you need to go 6 days bending? What's a bending? Evening. This is a new thing though. Like, remember last time I never went to my cabin? And I can't fast forward either. So I think I did it. I think I'm at the bad ending. The clock struck 5 o'clock. I took the bag and walked quickly to the bus stop, worried they might leave without me. Yeah, see, Ulyana's not here. It appears that the bus was already waiting here, as well as all the pioneers. Everyone's here? Began Olga. You're leaving our camp today, and yeah. She said all this already. Emotional, she's emotional. She's an emotional person. I ran an eye over the crowd looking for Ulyana. Where's Ulyana? She won't be going, the leader answered shortly. How? Why? She's grounded. But you said... She's at it again. What do you mean? Hey, get inside or they'll leave without you. Indeed, I was the last man standing outside. Wait a second. Move it. She nudged me onto the bus. I decided not to argue. Here, at the end, I can't be held responsible for her forever. Here we go again. If she's going to be stubborn, then it's up to her to face the consequences. I took the last seat. No partner for me, which I was fine with at the moment. However, soon enough, Alyssa moved to sit next to me. Where's Ulyana? Stayed. Why? Grounded. I gave a one-word reply, showing no interest in conversation. Why? Dunno. And what? You haven't ever even tried to find out? Is it worth staying back for? You should. For what? If you want, you can stay. We haven't gone far. Yeah, she said calmly and went off to her place. Slavia and Xenia were sitting in front seats and talking with enthusiasm about something. Those four were sitting playing cards, other girls. Got myself thinking that I still felt a bit guilty about what happened to Ulyana, but what could I do? If I stayed together with her, I would have probably missed my only chance to leave. And in my position, played such games could prove fatal. And apart from that, enough is enough. Yet I couldn't stop thinking about her. That I'm at fault, that I've acted cowardly, done a bad thing. Yet I still couldn't stop thinking about her, that I'm at fault, that I've acted cowardly, done a bad thing that everyone in my shoes would have. But why? Anyway, who is she to me that I need to take risk for her sake? It was even harder to answer than this question. During the week I spent here, I got to know her and others quite well. In the end, I felt responsible for Ulyana in some way. But what's the point of thinking about it now? I'm leaving this pioneer camp. I'm heading into the unknown. Starting from this moment, I have to make all the decisions based on the assumption that this world is alien to me, and most probably hostile, and I have no one to rely on. Although thinking about it, such state of affairs isn't too new to me, for I was always alone in the past. Nighttime. Savagnac had been left far behind me. Night has fallen on this strange world. It was so dark that it seemed that the bus was floating across a bluish-black ocean, and only sometimes would gloomy forests and fields reaching to the horizons, rise like waves from its surface. Anyway, the surroundings were the least of my concerns now. I was knee-deep in my reflection. It feels to me that I have left some unfinished business back at the camp, even though I can't go back there now. Bad things, good things, everything would be forgotten soon, leaving only the fact of my appearance here, the end of my old life and the beginning of the new one. Practically speaking, it was nothing fancy, just an 80s pioneer camp that I was been beamed to for my own time. The summer really is everlasting. Yep, it definitely is. In any case, I'd rather worry about what's waiting for me at that town we're heading for. After all, I've got nowhere to return to. I have no home, no money, no friends or relatives. All these pioneers that I'll part ways with in a few hours, I won't see any of them ever again. And them? I don't think they will remember me in a couple of years. It's not a big deal for them. To them, I'm not the time traveler, but a common boy, their peer. The roads seemed endless. Most of the pioneers were long asleep, yet I was still fighting the urge to take a nap. It's always better to enter the unknown while remaining awake. Though the unknown always has an edge in this battle, the flow of time that it is able to control as it sees fit. You wait a minute, an hour, but nothing happens. Your nerves, already strung out to their limits, finally surrender to the stress, and you just fall asleep. Day, bloop bloop bloop. Any text reading, by the way? Like any walls of text, I'm just gonna skip. It felt like I hadn't slept at all. Wait. Ha ha ha! It makes the fact that she had to stay behind even sadder. Of course, it's just a dream, a figment of my imagination. Although you can still worry about book and film characters. One laughs and cries with them and feels their pain. Same thing for me. It seems that if I had acted differently, the story would have had an even more joyful, happy end. Text, you don't like her? You don't like Text? Yeah, Text is a cruel mistress. However, I'm sure that Ulyana is happy in that world. I just can't imagine her being upset for longer than 5 minutes. Her optimism will help her to find a way, even in the most difficult situations. I wonder what she will even look like when she grows up. Oh well, guess we'll never know. Okay, see ya. Can I crib notes from you later? If you had been writing down your own during the lecture, you wouldn't need any. So, can I? Okay, fine. Cheers! He smiled and left the lecture hall. Slowly, I packed all my exercise books and textbooks into my backpack and looked around the empty hall. For a moment, I could almost smell the knowledge in the air, like sea salt in the air on the deck of a ship. Thousands and thousands of students came here to study, to learn something new, to forget something they used to know. Some slept through the lectures, some wrote them down attentively, just like me. But nobody was completely indifferent. Those who didn't care stayed home, pulled the curtains across the windows and fixed their eyes on a monitor. I sighed reluctantly and left the lecture hall, with the firm intention of not wasting this day. Yep, that's the bad ending, alright. Chest. Thanks, Selene. Ulyana, bad ending. Look at the picture. Oh, you can't see the picture. Never mind. Every story has the beginning and end. Own routine. There's no book. Yeah. Almost every. And that's the bad ending. Oh boy. Wait, don't show panties, please. Don't. Just let her go. Ah! Well, this will be my last stream, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. I will be forever canned, and it was fun. Man. No one look. You can't see anything. Still, it's a good game. I enjoy it. Here's these scenes that I think we missed. Oh no, we saw them. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today, unfortunately. Tomorrow, we will do a new ending, a new route. I was aiming for the Miku route, and I failed. So this time, we're going Miku, guys. And then we'll do everything in order. You have warmed up to it as well? That's good. I'm glad. So someone told me that the Miku route is scary. So we'll just have to see how scary it is tomorrow. Well, here's a problem, guys. I might not stream tomorrow morning. I'm gonna try to. But I have a dentist appointment tomorrow, which sucks. A dentist appointment that begins at 10. 10 in the morning. Maddening. Absolutely maddening. We got a couple pictures now. It's all good. It's all nice, all well and good. And now, we just gotta get some more pictures now. So yeah, that'll be it for the day. Let's see. Semyon, good, bad. Ulyana good, Ulyana bad. Couple more to go. Can't wait. Synchronize with Steam. I thought I did already. It's fine. Alright guys, thank you all for coming. I'll be back tonight with World of Final Fantasy. I hope you all have a lovely day. Selene and everyone, thank you for sticking around and seeing this through to the end today. You all are terrific. And yeah, I will hopefully see you all next time. Bye-bye!